So as we head toward the halfway point, and we're just about there, the Major League Baseball season, within a day or two of the halfway point for the season, a couple of the guys that definitely deserve to have some recognition when it comes to the All-Star game are, for all of the things that this lineup has done. Okay. One of the big keys has been the fact that Elder and Strider have really helped hold this staff and rotation together through all of the injuries. They're combined 15-3 on the season. Now, Elder, look, 6-1, 2.44 ERA. He leads Major League. Excuse me. He leads the National League in ERA. 96 innings pitched. He's got 79 strikeouts. He's been basically a stalwart for this rotation over the last 2 years. I mean, he's pitched in so many big-time games that he's been a big money-time pitcher. But 96 innings, 6-1, 2.44 ERA, leading the National League in ERA, 79 strikeouts to only 28 walks. And he's not giving up a lot of homers. I mean, 8 homers in almost 100 innings pitched is a pretty good number. Strider, we know how good Strider is. 9-2. So he's on pace. Again, he'll be a double-digit win pitcher come All-Star break time. But he's on pace right now to have 18 wins. You finish 18-4, you're doing some work. The 91 2/3 innings, 146 strikeouts. So again, we talk about records that could potentially fall, and we said this way, way back when, that Strider could set the franchise record for strikeouts this year for the Braves. Well, he's on that definite kind of pace, assuming that he pitches that kind of innings. 146 strikeouts in 91 2/3. Again, I think he's got the best stuff in Major League Baseball. I don't care if he's got 2 pitches, 7 pitches, 1 pitch. What he's doing is he's only given up 70 hits in 91 2/3 innings with 146 strikeouts. And after he had that bump in the road where his first 3 starts in June weren't all of that good, yeah, last 2 starts, 2-0, 1.38 ERA. Remember the first 3 starts of June, 15 innings, 15 earned runs that he gave up? Yeah, well, in his last 2 starts, it's been 13 innings and 2 earned runs. And by the way, 19 strikeouts in 13 innings with only 2 walks. Is that dealing? Is that getting back on track and dealing out there? So I hope when it comes to be All-Star time that the Braves find themselves with a couple of their pitchers in this All-Star rotation. I think that they deserve it. And you look at how good Elder's been. He's been clutch. He's been a money pitcher for this organization. Strider obviously has just been the most dominant pitcher in Major League Baseball. I mean, he's a guy that just goes out there and rears back and fires and gets all kinds of outs without contact. One of the more exciting pitchers in Major League Baseball. He feels like a guy that every time he steps on the mound, something historic could happen. So let's hope that with the Olsen and Acuna and Murphy and all of the guys that we know we're going to have on offense, because we're having a year where we're just raking it, right? I mean, Olsen's putting up big numbers, maybe even Riley to a certain degree. Ozzie certainly should be an all-star, right? We talk about, Orlando Arcia is doing great things at shortstop. With all these offensive pieces and things like that, let's recognize the couple of pitchers that we have out there, because Elder and Strider have been really good at just kind of solidifying this rotation. And I keep saying that if they can find a 4th guy to just get them through, somebody that's a 4th guy that can just give them some consistently good starts, whether that's Michael Soroka or somebody else, one of the rookie or, young guys or whatever like that, if they can just find that 4th starter, they can hang in there until Fried and Wright find their way back. And they'll find their way back eventually. They'll find their way back, whether it's late July, August, what have you. They'll find their way back for a stretch run. But if we just continue, and by the way, again, I said it the other day, this division's over. You look at how bad the Mets and Phillies are. They ain't overtaking the Braves. The Mets and the Mets and Marlins were 7-3 over their last 10 games, and they actually lost 2 games in the division. They were 7-3, and yet the Braves were 9-1 over their last 10. And the Braves just keep on winning series. Braves just took, again, beat the Minnesota Twins last night. Now they've won that series. They'll play at noon today, getaway day for the Twins. So, again, there's no reason to think that anybody's going to catch the Braves. But part of that has been, as good as their offense has been, they've needed Strider and Elder to come up, because at times earlier in the year, their offense wasn't as dominant. But Strider's been terrific this year. His ERA is maybe a little bit higher than you'd like, but still 3.73 isn't disastrous. 13 homers. Again, he gave up 6 homers in his first 3 starts in June. He's given up 1 homer the last 2 starts. So he's cut that part of it down and gotten back to where he's not giving up hits, he's not walking guys, and he's not giving up the home run ball. So he had that little bump in the road for the first part of June, but he's corrected that over the last 2 starts with a 1.38 ERA and 19 strikeouts in 13 innings. And Elder's been consistently good all year long. Forget his record. I mean, again, 6-1 still isn't anything to, slough off, but obviously some of that gets influenced by what the offense does and different things like that. But 96 innings, almost through the halfway point, 100, going to be on pace for 180, 190 innings, only 8 homers that he's given up, a solid 79 strikeouts, where he's averaging 7.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. Let's recognize those guys, because they've done some work as well. For all the good that their offense has done, they've done some work as well.